Morning. Our friendly neighborhood park rangers. So welcome back. Today I thought I would do another one of these little short hikes, or at least I call them short. But for many people they are probably intermediate or long hikes, which is good. That's my whole point, is I don't want you to think that you should only be trying 20-mile hikes. Little sub 10-mile hikes. Anything less than 10 is still good. Very. As a matter of fact, there are probably more hikes that are in that range, and so many. I could probably spend the next every weekend this year just here in Southern California. Don't give me ideas. So today we are on the Two Trees Trail to Box Springs Mountain, and this is about 7 miles. Excuse me. A little bit about early breakfast, but no problems. So it's about 7 miles. It's just a little after rains, although it's only been a few days, so it's only a little green. By next week, because of the rains, it's going to be even greener. It's going to look like a jungle. So when you see this, it will be looking like a jungle, at least for about a month. It's probably going to look awesome when the flowers start blooming. So the Two Trees Trail, which is this first part, will take us up for about 1.25 miles, after which we meet the fire road that takes you the rest of the way. So, and this is actually usually considered the more difficult part, the first mile. First, because it's twisty, windy, and because the elevation gain, as you can see there, is respectable. Honestly, though, sometimes I need to remind folks who are not my level of fitness, I don't sound very fit right now, do I? That, yes, you can do this. There's plenty of regular, average, sedentary folks who come out here. As a matter of fact, this is a bit of a more popular trail. It's in between the more populars. Like when I got here, as you might have noticed, there's a few cars already parked up there. As a matter of fact, every once in a while, I will do a little trail run up this hill. And that's a bit of fun. The trail runs, because of how it's even enough to where you can do a nice trail run the whole way up. So I've thought about doing it, except I have not had a single day off this week. Every day has been an exercise day. And so today I must. It's almost like a must. I must take it easy. I must be kind to myself and do this more as a relaxing hike. Mile 1 in 24:25. So means I'm doing good. Any hike over 2 miles an hour is pretty fast. Yes, that's right. I need to stop worrying about my time. It's difficult. It's difficult because, as I've explained on previous runs, it's almost like, you know how the old movie about Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde? Dr. Jekyll makes a promise. He made a promise down there that he was going to take it easy. And little by little, as we work out, Dr. Jekyll starts to convert into Mr. Hyde. And Mr. Hyde don't give a fuck. He's got a different goal. He feels pain too, yeah. But the pain drives him. Still, I need to listen. It's not like Dr. Jekyll has completely disappeared. He's somewhere back there. He's just not in control of the ship right now. Mr. Hyde is. Dr. Jekyll is lazy, and he would happily slow down. He would be happy to slow down and take a rest. Mr. Hyde, he's lazy too. So they share a lot in common. They share the same body. But Mr. Hyde looks at shit that makes him not want to do more work, and instead he decides, then let's do it now, and let's do it fast so that we can get it over with. Each one is a slightly different version of the same guy. Here we are, at the end of the Two Trees Trail. Oh, and I also brought 600 milliliters of water. My famous electrolyte mix. So for electrolytes, I normally will bring, so it's a lot less expensive than buying Gatorade, but it's also better because Gatorade is actually not nearly as good. Whereas this is a better mix. I forgot exactly the mix, but because I actually make it so that it is isotonic. 300, which for those of you who are nurses and doctors, and medical professionals, you will probably know this term, which is it's 300 milliosmolar. It has to do with osmosis, which is why that little term is there. And that means that the water in here is at the same, it has the same amount of particles in it as your blood. We can get really, really, really detailed here because your digestive tract and your blood each have different levels of osmolarity. Let's not go there right now. Just say this is about the same as your blood, which is good. You have hypoosmolar and hyperosmolar, and this is isoosmolar. I think those are the terms. I'll put them up there. But the whole point is that I think, if I'm not mistaken, Gatorade is hypoosmolar. Again, because I'm out here and my brain is keeping me alive, some of the details will be off, but I will put it up there. The whole point though is that I do so, and that's the thing, by the way, even though I may not know the details, I still have the general abstract knowledge that is not wrong. And that is, for example, I'd already done research on Gatorade before and other liquids. There are some that are good. As a matter of fact, there's one by a company called Precision Hydration. It's kind of expensive though for me, so especially considering that I can make the same exact thing for about 1/5 the price. And so instead of spending so much money, I just make my own, which is a lot cheaper. I mean, once you know how to make your own, you can also make it with your own flavors and everything, and it's so much more convenient. The whole point though is, I might actually put a little recipe up there so you'll see. So when you use that kind of liquid, that is ISO, your body doesn't have to expend so much energy in absorbing it. And that is especially important. That's where I learned it, by the way, which is on some of my more challenging hikes. For example, the 10 Peaks, which was a 32-mile hike over 2 days. On that one, all the water you will have is limited because there is no water. Well, there is part of the way there, but I had actually failed, I think, twice to do the hike because I was too dehydrated, like way before I reached my rehydration point. Of course, proper maintenance of hydration is not just liquids. I also pushed too hard, and intensity and sunlight drives dehydration too. So there's that. But anyway, so at least as far as water, that's why I started learning that if you get isoosmolar liquids, they will require less energy, and you will, because I think a part of it is that you will also lose a little bit of liquid when you have to process it. Now, the problem though is it's not just osmolarity, it's the mix of glucose and salt and the other electrolytes. So that can become a whole discussion in and of itself. To keep it simple though, right now, I think the most important electrolytes are, of course, salt, sodium chloride, and potassium chloride. And what you want to do is, you definitely don't want to add a ton of it too, by the way. I mean, so as a matter of fact, you should not be trying to drive yourself to 300 milliosmoles with just salt and potassium. That's just going to taste like seawater. No. You do have to add some. I add dextrose to the mix, just a little, because dextrose also has a very important property in helping you absorb liquids better. The other thing I didn't mention is that when you have a high level of electrolytes, which is what you want too, by the way, besides being an isoosmolar, you want it to be a high level of electrolytes. If you have that, I personally have noticed that my tolerance to dehydration is greater. So I can lose more pounds of fluid without losing performance. And I can get to the emergency zone. It takes a lot more to really dehydrate me. I mean, I wouldn't say it's magical. It's not like I'm going to be twice as resistant. No, but I'm about 20 to 25% more resilient. So it's definitely worth trying. Of course, again, all of these have other variables that I haven't discussed, all part of a long discussion we could have. Because if you try that ideal electrolyte mix and you are a beginner, you may not have the aerobic capacity. And so you may think you're going to be dehydration proof when you will drive your intensity too high because you're not yet fit enough. And you'll be like, that water didn't work. Well, if you don't drive yourself to maximum intensity, it'll probably work better. Kind of like me. So there's other figures, but we are at the radio towers. Yay. Let's keep going. We have reached the first few radio towers. These are, of course, not the last ones. The last ones are over there. So let's be a little careful. There's kind of a trail, but not really. Oh, okay. Not bad. Let us see where this takes us. There we go. Yeah, we need to go over there. Okay, we are at the final of the rocks here. I guess technically that little thing there would be the highest part back there. But this is awesome. There you can see San Jacinto. There is the big fat M. San Gorgonio and San Anderson and San Bernardino peaks. The Inland Empire. Some big warehouses. There is Majesca and Santiago peaks. And then that big ass lake, I forget its name. I should know its name. No, I'm not even going to try. I will fail. I'll put it up there. And then we turn around and we see Cucamonga.
Train leaving on track 5 for Anaheim, Azusa, and Cucamonga.
Baldy is not visible. We can see Ontario. Ontario is all the way over here on this side. Cucamonga is the tallest one there. And there's our radio towers 1, 2, and 3. Yeah! So this M looks very small from the freeway, but these poles here are about 20 feet. So you can imagine just how gigantic this thing actually is. W for Wario! That thing is gigantic once you come over to it. It's funny because when you see it from the freeway, it looks tiny. But once you're here at the base of this thing is gigantic. Like I said, at least over 100 feet. Big, big. Now, this is not necessarily breaking my rules about taking it easy. I'm not gonna try to do, 6 miles an hour or anything faster. Maybe 5. And that's because the weather's still kind of cold. Not too cold. If I had to estimate, I'd probably say it's 60 degrees. So, and that's not too bad. But since I sweat quite a bit on my way up, the sweat starts to condense on your body, or not, it doesn't condense. Sorry, where is my mind? The sweat actually, as it evaporates from your body, the other way around. As it leaves your body, wind. It cools you down. So I can feel colder right now. And so that's why I'm saying I should jog. Just a little easier. Look at this. This isn't much. nice little trot. Just enough to warm me up. Mile 5, and that is 1969 up, 594 down. Oh, and 212.35. Should give you an idea. Like I said, it's a nice, not too hard of a hike. As a matter of fact, like the other one that I did just recently, if you notice, the elevation gain for both is about similar. The other one was 1996, and here we're already at 1969. We'll probably be a little over 2,000 feet by the time we're done. But I am surprised, don't see that many people here. A few, I mean, I've probably crossed about a dozen folks. I've never actually taken this spring trail, but it looks like it's a little deviation. I wonder, will it add 2 miles to my trip like the Chapman Trail did to my Cucamonga hike? Or not Cucamonga, I'm sorry, Ontario hike a couple weeks ago. Yeah, can't be that bad. I want to make sure that I know where the trail goes. Oh, before we go back down, let's see this little mesa, would it be? A little sub peak. Ooh, be careful around these rocks. Check this out. Not bad for a little side trail, huh? So we are back at our original trail. That was a nice little, it was a shortcut, wasn't it? I don't know, I'll check on the mileage there. But it felt good. It was worth it. I see that now that I'm looking, I see that there's another trail over there that goes back that way. So next time I'll try that one. We are now back to the nature center. and the last 1.3 miles of our hike. This is the challenge of it is up to you. Oh, there we are, mile 6. 2346. We have ascended 2033, descended 1072, and that is at 242.00. So, as you can see, as a challenge, this is perfectly fine for most beginners and intermediates. I mean, if you're a total beginner, you can start from here. You can park in that lot there and take your way up there. So that should be easy. If you feel a little more challenge, you can start from where I just started, from the Two Trees Trail, and get your butt kicked on 900 feet of elevation gain in 1.3 miles. Well, that's nice. So, a little unexpected change in plans. So, the return trail is somewhere off that way. That way. But I saw these other trails a little past on the other side, and I'm like, you know what, let's just try them. There are many though, so here I'm more just like exploring. Which direction I will go, I do not know. If anything, I feel a little attracted to that peak, which seems to be one of the higher ones in this little area here. The challenge, of course, is that it doesn't appear to have an actual trail to it. And so it may not actually be accessible. At this moment, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't look, if you're a mountaineer, this is child's play, of course, if you're a mountaineer. Not only that, but it's always better to find if there is a trail. And I mean, these places are popular. Look, there's so many trails around these hills. It's almost like there's got to be a trail going up to it. Look at that. There's a multitude of little trails all over the place. Look, there's trails going down there. Trails going all around. See? It seems almost, given so many people are making trails, I am most certainly not the only one who was like, hey, let's go up to the top of that. Excuse me. So as I said, there's no obvious trail. Although this looks like it could be. Yeah. I hear animals, although I'm not sure what they are. I think it might have been a donkey. It should not surprise me because I have seen donkeys, but they're not usually free. They're usually in their corrals. There we go. This was a little trail. And there it continues. Oh my God, it's one of those kinds of peaks. And when you thought you reached the top, there's another one. I mean, it's not that much though. It wasn't like Mount Mother. Watch out for the pies. I mean, it's not so bad. But as I said before, weirdly enough, once I'm coming back down, it still kicks my butt. It doesn't make sense considering the stuff that I've done. Maybe it does. I've said it before, running never gets easier. You just get tougher. And maybe that's what's going on here. These ascents are hard. And no matter how fit I am, it still kicks my ass. But I'm still quite tough. I can still do a lot of them. Just at the moment, it doesn't feel like I can. That's probably what it is. Whew. I mean, these are baby peaks compared to what I did. Whoa, gotta be careful there. I don't say that to downplay how hard it is for other folks. I say it just to compare, to remind myself not to whine too much about it. Because whining only makes it worse. You know what would be ironic? I get there and then there's another one. No, I don't think there is. This is not some major mountain, it's just a pile of rocks. A little trail between the bushes. That's good. I'm going to put my water bottle down here. Don't worry, I will come back for it. Whoa. That's why I put it down, because I need a little more of a hand getting up these rocks. Not that bad. Oh my God, you assholes. God, somebody needs to, but I will take those down myself. God, a bunch of idiots. Put them here in the meantime. There we are. Yes. That's where we came from. See the jet over there? And the chemtrails with mind controlling agents? Oh yeah. Awesome. Now let's get back down.
Love me a little, love me a lot, love me well, love me good.
Thought I'd at least comment on the trash, because I know that a lot of people get really, really bent out of shape, and you saw me. I got pretty upset too. But then I let it go, because there was a time when I didn't used to pick things up, because my whole thought was, oh, if I pick it up, then these pigs will never pick up their own mess. And if I pick it up, I'm literally helping them clean up. So they'll always be like, oh, I'll just leave it here because somebody else will pick it up. Thing is, I now have risen about that, and I'm like, no, because these people are literally unaware and they don't care. Or, as I said, sometimes they'll do it maliciously. There's different kinds, so I cannot attribute reason for that. Whether they are doing it maliciously or complete indifference, in all cases, they don't care. Whether or not I pick it up, it's not going to affect their decision to keep doing it. Should we catch them and punish them? Yes. But that's going to be very hard, especially out here. Instead, let's just clean it up. Let's not let that weigh our souls down. Yes, let's share with others the principles. But I also think let's not whine amongst each other. Oh, people are jerks, and now there's more, because that's the problem. Is once we do that, we start to generalize to more people and to more things. And it just contributes to an antisocial kind of being that I at least don't want to be a part of. I believe, and I've seen most people actually care, and they're kind, and they're clean, and they take care of stuff. There's a few jerks. There will always be a few jerks. But the rest of you are awesome. We can always tell when we're almost at the end because of the little green corridor we have here. And of course the little bridge. And here we are. We are back at the trailhead. And that was a good hike. Okay, so we are done with the hike, and now just a little recap. So, as you noticed, that was 8.88 miles, which is pretty cool, if I do say so myself. It was a little over 2,000 feet, so it was a little more than the other one, but by the distance and everything, they're in the same ballpark. Yeah, this is a couple more miles, and actually I added miles when I did that little detour there, so that probably added about 1.5 miles. If you don't want to do that many miles, you can just do simpler. I mean, there's so many ways you can make this easier for yourself, but honestly, you choose how you want to do it. You can start from the top, or you can do this the route from here from Two Trees. As you noticed, you can even do that little side trail. So either any of them. The hardest part, of course, is this initial 1.3 miles going up. From there was the fire road, and we made it up to the radio towers, and those were cool. There's 3 main radio towers, at least as I can tell, and right there on that part. There's another one about a half mile back. But then we got to see the big old M, that gigantic, like 120 feet, maybe 120 feet. I don't know. It's pretty big. We got to see the big M. Got to see everything around after the rains. Did you notice the mountains with all the white on them? Yeah. Then after that, we come back, and before we make it back, we take the little spring trail detour, which was actually a very nice little detour. I'm glad I took that one. That was nice. It almost felt like a shortcut. So I'll check and see. I'll add it there. But then we come back, and I'm like, you know what? I'm feeling like maybe I can do a little more. So I decided to do the little side trail there to that little rock peak. We unfortunately had to deal with a little bit of trash, but trash is a reality in all trails. And it's something that, as I said, it's a discussion that can become sad. I don't want to be sad. Instead, I'll just pick it up. We move on. We contribute. We can do whatever we can in our lives, which is either contribute to the negativity or to the positivity. Let's contribute to the positive. Because from there, we came back down. And the return, of course, was itself nice and easy. There was nothing other than, don't forget that green. Everything is turning so green. And I can imagine in the next couple of weeks, because this is just a few days after the rain. Normally, it's going to take about a week to 10 days after the rains that it gets even greener. So just watch out for these this peak here. And it's funny because most of the time in the summer, this is all brown. So it's even funny how green it's going to be. But I'm looking forward to that. So other than that, this was an awesome hike. Worth it. It's short. It's proof that there are lots of little hikes that you can take. You just got to get outside, get out your door. So other than that, I do hope that you enjoyed it. And don't forget to challenge yourself.